Let me ask you something very honestly. Why is it that some people break down in difficult times, while others, facing the same storm, stand calm, composed, and centered? The difference is not intelligence. It's not money. It's not luck. The difference is mental strength. And here's the surprising truth. Mentally strong people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who don't let their mind become their enemy. Pause. Breathe. Because this conversation is not about motivation. It's about transformation. Let me begin by asking you something very gently. When life doesn't go your way, when things fall apart without warning, what breaks first, your situation or your mind? Because the truth is, situations come and go, but the way we hold them inside decides whether we grow stronger or weaker. Mental strength is not about having a perfect life. It's about learning how to stay steady even when life is imperfect. We often think that mentally strong people have no fears, no doubts, no emotional struggles. That's not true. They feel everything: pain, disappointment, confusion, but they don't let those emotions sit in the driver's seat. They observe their mind instead of becoming a prisoner of it. There is a big difference between having a negative thought and believing every negative thought. A weak mind argues with reality and asks, "Why is this happening to me?" A strong mind asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" Many of our struggles are not because life is too hard, but because our expectations are too rigid. We want people to behave a certain way. We want results to come on our timeline. We want life to follow our script. And when it doesn't, we feel frustrated, angry, and exhausted. Mental strength begins the moment we understand that we can't control everything outside us, but we can always choose how we respond inside. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is clarity. It gives you the strength to move forward without wasting energy on resistance. Another secret of mental strength is learning to pause. In today's world, we react instantly: messages, comments, opinions, emotions. But reacting is easy. Anyone can react. Responding takes awareness. A small pause before you speak, before you decide, before you judge can save years of regret. In that pause, wisdom enters. In that pause, the mind regains its balance. A mentally strong person also knows the importance of values. When your values are unclear, every opinion shakes you. Every failure breaks you. But when your values are strong, you don't need constant approval. You don't measure your worth by likes, praise, or comparisons. You know who you are, and that gives you stability. A calm mind is not a distracted mind, it is a disciplined one. We must also remember that mental strength is built quietly in small daily habits. How you talk to yourself when you fail, how you treat others when you're tired, how you handle silence. These moments shape the mind. You don't become strong by avoiding problems, you become strong by facing them with patience and perspective. So instead of asking life to be easier, ask yourself to become wiser. Train the mind like you train the body, gently, consistently, with compassion. Because when the mind is strong, even difficult days feel manageable. And when the mind is peaceful, life, just as it is, feels meaningful. Let us reflect on something very simple yet very powerful. Every day, life places situations in front of us that we did not plan for. A delay, a loss, a misunderstanding, a failure. And in those moments, we usually believe the situation is disturbing us. But if we observe closely, it is not the situation that hurts us the most. It is the story our mind creates around it. Mental strength begins when we learn to separate facts from assumptions, reality from imagination. A strong mind is not one that never feels weak. It is one that knows how to regain balance. Just like a child learning to walk falls many times, but does not label himself a failure. Mentally strong people don't define themselves by one mistake or one bad day. They understand that life is a process, not a performance. When we treat life like an exam, every small error feels like the end. But when we treat life like a classroom, every challenge becomes a lesson. One of the biggest reasons the mind becomes weak is comparison. We look at others and feel we are behind, less successful, less happy. But comparison is unfair because we compare our behind the scenes with someone else's highlights. A strong mind focuses on progress, not position. It asks, am I becoming a better version of myself than yesterday? Not am I ahead of everyone else? Peace enters the mind the moment comparison leaves it. Mental strength also grows when we stop seeking constant validation. If your happiness depends on appreciation, then criticism will destroy you. A mature mind learns to appreciate itself. It understands that not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. When your intentions are clean and your efforts sincere, you can sleep peacefully, even if the world misunderstands you. Another important aspect of mental strength is learning how to manage expectations. Expectations are like silent contracts we make with people without telling them. When those expectations are not met, we feel hurt and disappointed. A strong mind replaces expectations with communication and attachment with understanding. It loves deeply, but it also lets go gracefully. Silence is also a powerful teacher. Many people are afraid of being alone because silence forces us to face our thoughts. But mentally strong people use silence to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with themselves. In silence, the mind slows down, clarity returns, and emotions settle. Silence is not emptiness, it is nourishment. Remember, mental strength is not built by avoiding pain, but by walking through it with awareness. Life will test you, not to break you, but to reveal your inner capacity. When you train your mind to trust the process, stay grounded in values, and respond with patience, you realize something beautiful. You are stronger than you thought all along. Let us understand one quiet truth about life. No one teaches us how to deal with our own mind. We are taught how to earn, how to compete, how to succeed, but not how to sit with our thoughts when things don't go as planned. And yet, the quality of our life is decided not by what happens outside, but by what keeps repeating inside. Mental strength is the art of managing the inner world with patience and clarity. Most of our exhaustion does not come from work, it comes from overthinking. The mind keeps replaying the past and rehearsing the future, forgetting that life is happening only in the present. A mentally strong person learns to gently bring the mind back, not by fighting thoughts, but by observing them. When you watch your thoughts without judging them, they slowly lose their power. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. There is also a common belief that strength means being emotionally hard, but emotional hardness creates distance, not peace. True strength allows you to feel deeply without drowning in emotions. It allows you to cry without feeling weak, and to forgive without feeling defeated. When the heart is soft and the mind is steady, life becomes lighter. One of the greatest burdens we carry is the need to control outcomes. We work hard, we plan carefully, and still things don't always work out. A weak mind collapses when results don't match effort. A strong mind focuses on sincerity rather than success. It understands that effort is in our hands, outcomes are not. This shift alone brings immense relief and resilience. Another pillar of mental strength is learning how to let go. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or regret is like carrying unnecessary luggage on a long journey. You may be able to walk, but you will be tired. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting lessons, it means releasing emotional weight. When the mind is light, it becomes flexible. And a flexible mind does not break easily. Mentally strong people also respect boundaries, both their own and others. They know when to say yes and when to say no. They don't exhaust themselves trying to please everyone. They understand that self-care is not selfish, it is responsibility. When the mind is rested, decisions become wiser and reactions softer. Life will always have uncertainty. There will be moments of confusion, delay, and disappointment. Mental strength is trusting yourself during those moments. It is reminding yourself, I may not see the whole picture now, but I will handle whatever comes next. This quiet self-trust becomes your anchor. So instead of fighting your mind, befriend it. Train it with kindness, discipline, and understanding. Because when the mind becomes your ally, even the toughest phases of life turn into pathways for growth. And slowly, without noise or drama, you realize that mental strength is not something you chase. It is something you cultivate from within. There is a simple observation we often miss in life: the mind becomes tired long before the body does. We wake up with energy, but by the end of the day, it is not physical work that drains us the most, it is emotional weight, unresolved thoughts, and unnecessary worries. Mental strength begins when we learn how to carry life lightly, without losing our depth. Many people believe that being mentally strong means being in control of everything. But real strength comes from understanding what is worth controlling and what is worth surrendering. When we try to control people, outcomes and situations, the mind becomes restless. But when we focus on controlling our reactions, our intentions, and our effort, the mind becomes calm. Peace enters not when life becomes perfect, but when resistance reduces. A weak mind keeps revisiting the past with regret and the future with fear. A strong mind learns to stay anchored in the present. This does not mean ignoring responsibilities or planning ahead. It means not allowing the mind to live everywhere except where life actually is. When attention returns to the present moment, clarity replaces chaos. Even simple tasks start feeling meaningful. One powerful habit of mentally strong people is conscious self-talk. We speak to ourselves all day, but rarely do we notice the tone of that voice. If your inner voice is harsh, judgmental, and impatient, no amount of external success will bring peace. A strong mind is trained through kindness toward oneself. Encouragement works better than criticism. Discipline grows faster when it is guided by compassion. Another important aspect of mental strength is faith in timing. Many people lose confidence not because they are incapable, but because results take longer than expected. Impatience weakens the mind. Trust strengthens it. When you understand that growth happens invisibly before it becomes visible, you stop rushing life. You continue doing the right things, even when no immediate reward appears. Mentally strong people also understand the power of gratitude. Gratitude shifts attention from what is missing to what is already present. This doesn't mean denying challenges. It means not allowing challenges to blind you to blessings. A grateful mind stays grounded even in difficult phases. It finds stability and appreciation. We must also accept that not everyone will walk with us forever. Some people leave, some paths change, and some chapters close unexpectedly. A strong mind does not cling out of fear. It honors what was, learns what it needed to, and moves forward with grace. Detachment is not coldness, it is emotional maturity. Life will test you again and again, not to see how much you can endure, but to see how consciously you respond. When you stop reacting from fear and start responding from understanding, mental strength becomes your natural state. And then even in uncertainty, the mind remains steady, the heart remains open, and life continues calm, purposeful, and meaningful. So don't ask, how can I control the world? Ask instead, how can I train my mind? Because when the mind is strong, circumstances lose their power. And when the mind is peaceful, life becomes meaningful. Thank you. And remember, the strongest person in the room is the one who has mastered themselves.